Good morning, everyone. Laura Ivy, our Big Ma, my great-grandmother, was born in Mississippi in 1866, the year after slavery. Big Ma gave me the name Cat. Big Ma often called me, Cat, Cat, come take out the slop jar. My two sisters and I would run and hide when we heard her voice. Finally, she would say, I'm going to tell B on you. B was my mother, Beatrice. Okay? As a kid, I did not understand why I had to be the one to take out the slop jar. I did not like the name Cat she gave me because of my brown eyes, my cat-like brown eyes. And I definitely did not like taking out the slop jar. Finally, my mother had a talk with me, and she told me of the responsibilities of becoming a young man. And she reminded me, she said, don't cross those lines or you will be taking out a slop jar for the rest of your life. So that was a learning for me. Congratulations and thanks to our new Chancellor, Beverly Copper. I'm quite sure you are going to do well. And so far, it has been a pleasure working with you. I've also had the pleasure of working with the past 5 chancellors here at the university, in particular, Chancellor Connor, Greenhill, Miller, Saunders, and Telfer. Each of them have ushered in a new era of academic excellence. Chancellor Copper is more than capable of keeping UW-Whitewater in the forefront of higher education. I wish continued success, good health, and happiness to our outstanding faculty and staff. You have worked to make it possible for students to learn and to create their vision of how to make a contribution to society. Thank you. I wish continued success to parents, family members, and friends. Congratulate and support our graduates. Help them to transition into their new role and to excel beyond their potential. Congratulations, graduates. Enjoy your graduation day. You have a proven record of achievement to help you engage the world. It is an honor to have been selected to give the commencement address today. I am forever connected to the campus through my career and through alums. Education is the vehicle that I have selected to engage the world. As a kid born into a sharecropping family, I am frequently reminded about how my life was a part of the largest migration movement in the history of America. My identification with this period of American history was sealed in my mind when I read Black Boy by Richard Wright in high school. More recently, The Warmth of Other Suns by Isabel Wilkerson has served as a reminder of how my family and I were connected to the Promised Land. I would like to reflect upon the influence that my mother had upon my life. She was the head of our household of 9 siblings until her untimely death. She cultivated common sense and strong work ethics within us. From sunup to sundown, she picked and chopped cotton with us. She was a loving and protective mother. The most memorable things about my mother was in 1949, she told Mr. Guest, the owner of the property in West Point, Mississippi, that we were sharecropping on, that her 3 sons, Charles, James, and Joe, were not going to work for him anymore, and that we were going to move off of the property. To this day, her action has influenced the guiding principles of my life. Like many of you graduates, I overcame many challenges to be here today. If my life had been a baseball game, I would have struck out at the age of 10 against overwhelming odds. Gary Public School officials were challenged and determined my grade placement. The idea of a 10-year-old first grader didn't set well. Later, I was placed in the third grade, the same grade as my 8-year-old sister. What turned things around for me? Stable home with a sense of family, a community with pride, and living in the famed Dory Miller housing project at that time in Gary, a decent public education system with schools named after such luminaries as Lincoln, Charles R. Drew, George Washington Carver, and of course there was Gary Roosevelt High School there. A church as a cornerstone of the community that enabled me to participate in the Boy Scouts and the gospel choir. After 10 years in the Gary Public Schools, I graduated from high school in 1962 with an athletic scholarship to Western Michigan University. Western Michigan University introduced me to another world. After undergraduate study, a graduate assistantship enabled me to complete my master's degree in a program entitled Teaching the Culture to Deprive. At this time in my life, education was the career I wanted. I went on to get a Ph.D. from the University of Michigan. After academic appointments at the University of Illinois at Chicago, Indiana University Northwest, I was connected and exposed to the Chicago metropolis. I have resided in the state of Wisconsin since 1986. 29 years ago, I came to the University of Wisconsin from Chicago with the mission to help UW-Whitewaters improve the recruitment, retention, and graduation of first-generation college students. As Assistant Vice Chancellor, I took on expanded academic responsibilities to expand the range of services to students participating in pre-college programs, undergraduate and graduate studies, initiatives such as the King Chavez Scholars and the McNair Scholars program evolved. I will go to my grave never questioning the ability of any student to learn at any institution. My years of experience has more than confirmed that the pathway to success can be narrow, crooked, or straight. It can even be fast or late sometimes. Your presence today says a lot about the progress you have made towards success. To complement your accomplishment, there are about 3 of the most promising issues facing a majority of you are employment, finding a home or staying at home, making that decision, and finding someone to spend your life with. Some of you have a job before graduating. Some of you are creating your own job or freelancing. Some of you are in the need of experience that will connect you beyond employment. How about you? What are you doing to bring meaning into your life? What are going to be your guiding principles? What standards of judgment are you going to use for critical issues facing you? How are you going to adapt? Do you really need that job? Shouldn't you teach in the Milwaukee School District? After a few weeks before my undergraduate degree, I signed a teaching contract with the Benton Harbor, Michigan School District. I voided the contract for graduate study a month later. 5 years later, I took a leave of absence from Western Michigan University to complete doctoral study. At UW-Whitewater, I accepted a position in 1986, resigned in 1987, and returned after 2 years in the school district. The dynamics of being able to change positions have much to do with the market, the position, your skills, and your interests. Some years ago, I was in Spain with a group of Whitewater students for a short-term travel study and run into students from the United States. They spent 5 minutes greeting each other, chanting, USA, USA. That was their Olympic moment. Today, this is one of your moments. As college graduates, you are in an excellent position to investigate, implement, and influence initiatives to improve the quality of life for communities and individuals throughout the United States. In your high school and at UW-Whitewater, you've had the opportunity to interact with diverse students and faculty, staff of color. You have a great understanding that one's skin color and social orientation is not enough to keep you from working on a shared promise to society. You are prepared to live diversely. We all have great love for our great state of Wisconsin. However, you have seen statistics that places our great state of Wisconsin in a challenging position, especially as it pertains to educating certain populations, incarceration of certain populations, underemployment, and unemployment for some. Your exposure in and beyond America's academic disciplines has assured you of America's potential to solve problems and to serve as a world model. You have agreed to integrate civic mindedness into your job, bring changes and fairness into the criminal justice system, serve as a teacher to help students meet their potential, become a school board member, serve as a public figure in government, consider becoming an elected official. Remember, at this point in your life, you have been exposed to more information than any other American generation. So when unsavory things occur, you will not approve and tolerate programs, plans, and policies that are not within the proper context. You're in a position to emphatically state, "Not in my house." Your guiding principles should always be clear to help others and to chart your own pathway to success. Thank you.